Hey, welcome while we read about the Transcontinental Railroad. So the Transcontinental Railroad is where we finally unite the east and west coasts, the Atlantic and the Pacific. No longer will you have to ride in a ship all the way around the southern tip of South America, and no longer would you have to literally walk from Independence, Missouri, all the way to the west coast on the Oregon Trail. Now you can take a train. And it was constructed, the first one at least, from 1862 to 1869. So construction was going on in the middle of the Civil War. The first Continental Railroad, known originally as the Pacific Railroad and later as the Overland Route, was a 1,912 long mile continuous railroad line constructed between 1862 and 1869 that connected the existing eastern U.S. rail network at Council Bluffs, Iowa, with the Pacific coast and at the Oakland Long Wharf on San Francisco Bay. So it would end up taking you all the way to California. The rail line was built by three private companies over public lands provided by U.S. land grants. So these three companies were the Western Pacific Railroad Company. It built 132 miles of track from the road's western terminus at Alameda, Oakland to Sacramento, California. The second company, the Central Pacific Railroad Company of California, the CPRR, constructed 690 miles eastward from Sacramento to Promontory Summit in the Utah Territory. The Union Pacific, the third company, built the most, 1,085 miles from the eastern end at Council Bluffs near Omaha, Nebraska, westward onto Promontory Summit, where they connected. The Union Pacific was famous for employing Irish immigrants, while the Central Pacific was famous for employing Chinese immigrants. The railroad opened for through traffic between Sacramento and Ohio on May 10, 1869, when CPRR President Leland Stanford supposedly tapped the last spike, which was made out of gold. It was later often referred to as the Golden Spike, and he hit it with a silver hammer at Promontory Summit, north of the Great Salt Lake. Stanford tried to drive the spike, however, he missed. After Union Pacific Vice President Tom Durant also missed the spike, an unnamed regular worker just walked up and was like, you fancy guys don't know how to do this. Wham! And just hit the spike. In the following 6 months, the last leg from Sacramento to San Francisco Bay was also completed. The resulting coast-to-coast railroad connection revolutionized the settlement and economy of the American West. It brought the western states and territories into alignment with the northern Union states and made transporting passengers and goods from coast to coast considerably quicker, safer, and more importantly, much less expensive. Before the building of the Transcontinental Railroad, it cost nearly $1,000 in money back then to travel across the country. You were either going to have to pay a ticket to ride on a ship all the way around the southern tip of South America, or you're going to have to buy all the supplies, the horses, the wagons, to literally walk the whole way. With a train, though, after the railroad was completed, the price dropped to $150 because you're just buying a ticket, maybe some meals along the way. So this is Promontory Summit right here in Utah, where they actually met. So hope you're learning, and I hope you're having fun.